insights, picks, results. This is Wizard Sports Picks. Beyond the Lines.
What's up, everybody? Matt Robinson here with another episode of Beyond the Lines, brought to you by wizardsportspicks.com. If you haven't checked out the website, get over to it. Great handicappers, posting picks all day, every day. New picks are flying up on the board, every time I refresh the page. Premium picks, free plays, premium packs, multiple picks for the price for a lower price point. You name it, it's there at wizardsportspicks.com. So make sure and check out the website. Again, this is Matt Robinson with another episode of Beyond the Lines for the Tuesday, November 18th NHL card. As I've done the last couple weeks, I've got 3 picks for you. We've got an 8-game card. I'm currently on a 30-12 run in NHL plays. So I'm looking to continue that with a couple easy picks for Tuesday night. So without further ado, I will jump into the picks. First off, we're going to start with the 7 p.m. Eastern Time puck drop between Toronto and St. Louis. For me, this one is pretty simple and kind of for an opposite reason as to a usual over. I love the over 5.5 in this one. You've got Toronto coming into this game as the 31st defense as far as goals against per game average. And guess who's number 1? St. Louis. So if the 2 worst defenses coming into this game, both defenses are banged up a little bit. Toronto is really missing Chris Tanev, one of the best stay-at-home defensive defensemen in the NHL. He's a lockdown guy back there, and Toronto definitely is missing him. But yeah, I mean, you've got 2 of the worst defenses. Toronto's a top 5 offense sitting at 4th as far as goals per game. So that right there, I like this, especially at a 5.5. I think it'll probably get to a 6 about at puck drop. But if you can get in early, jump in on that 5.5. Also, for what it's worth, between these 2 teams, they're 8-2 to the over of at least 6 or more goals in their last 10 contests between each other. So Toronto, St. Louis, over 5.5. That'll be my first pick for the Tuesday, November 18th card. Excuse me. My second pick, we're going to go to an 8 p.m. Eastern Time puck drop where the Dallas Stars will host the New York Islanders at the American Airlines Center. This is another play where, I like the over in this one. I do like the first period over as well, but just for purposes of the pick, I'm going to take the over 6. You've got 2 teams that are combining for an average, combined goals per game at 6.47. They're right there on the cusp of 6 with averaging 5.95 goals against. That is partially due to Dallas being under 3 goals giving up per game, but they are, as of recently, missing Thomas Harley, who's now week to week. There's likelihood they'll probably be pulling somebody up from the American Hockey League as they've only got 5 healthy defensemen on their depth chart going into tomorrow. Dallas is heating up offensively. In their last 3 games, they've got 3, 7, and 5 goals for in those 3 wins. So their offense is really starting to cook. Their power play has been good all season. Jason Robertson's on a tear, 9 points in his last 3 games. I don't think Dallas will have an issue scoring a few goals in this game as the Islanders, are pretty regularly giving up a few goals per game. But the Islanders are not the old Islanders that used to be the boring, trap style play, looking to win games 2-1. They've got Matthew Schaefer. They've got some other young stars. Barzell's having a good start to the season. So I would look for goals for both teams. Dallas has struggled to keep the puck out of the net. Jake Onger has played better late as of very late, but I just think with the defense, the blue line banged up like it is, I think there's, plenty of opportunity for both teams to chip into this over 6. I think we'll get over 6. I think at puck drop, this might be an over 6.5. Still like it at that, but lock in over 6 if you can. I did see an over 5.5, but it was pretty juiced, so I'm just going to roll with over 6 on this one. And look for both teams to maybe we get a 3-3 regulation, and overtime goal gets us over the hump. So Dallas, New York Islanders over 6. That'll be play number 2 for the Tuesday, November 18th NHL card. Third and final pick, we go out to an 8:30 Eastern Time puck drop game where the Chicago Blackhawks will host the Calgary Flames. Calgary is just not a team I want to back at this point. They're the worst team in the league as far as scoring goals. Wolf is playing well when he's in net, but it's just not enough. They're averaging like right around 2 goals per game in this league, and then at this time of the year, especially, it's not going to get you very many wins. So Chicago, on the other hand, I think they're surprising a lot of folks with their start. I still think they're a few players and a few years away from being, a true contender. The Floridas, the Dallas, Vegas, Colorado, especially. They're still on the outside of that bubble, but they are, you know, getting better. They're competitive in every game. Bedard is off to a good start, which, you need your superstars to be playing well if you want the team to play well. And they're home, and I'm seeing the money line at -115. It's almost a pick 'em in this game. I just think it's worth taking a shot, especially at that value on Chicago money line. Calgary is not a team I want to back at any number. They're on the road. I think they have 2 road wins all year. They're just, they're struggling to score. They're struggling to play well defensively. And I think, Chicago, they won their last game. They're kind of rolling a little bit over the last couple of weeks. They've had some big wins. So I think they take care of business at home on Tuesday night, and give me Chicago money line as my third and final pick for this Tuesday, November 18th, NHL Beyond the Lines hat trick play of picks, if you will. So just to recap, we've got Toronto St. Louis over 5.5. We've got Dallas against the New York Islanders over 6. And then we've got the Chicago Blackhawks money line as they take on the Calgary Flames. Again, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to share, like, comment, wherever you see this video at. Be sure to check out wizardsportspicks.com. I'm there. My premium plays are there. Free plays are there. Putting up packs on a regular basis, as well as some of the best handicappers going right now. Constantly throwing out picks. You don't want to miss out. There's a lot of heaters going on at this time, so continue to check out the site. Every time you hit refresh, there's new picks flying up on the board. So again, I'm Matt Robinson. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next Tuesday for another episode of Beyond the Lines from wizardsportspicks.com. Thank you. Cheers.